This isn't just a cup final. This is Arsenal's biggest test under Arteta. Because Arsenal have improved, but can they finally beat Manchester City when it matters?
My best bet to lift the trophy is going to be Arsenal at -125. I have watched this team all season long. They are undefeated over their last 14 matches across all competitions. They have not lost to City in their last 6 head-to-head fixtures. And this whole argument that I've been seeing all season long that this team is just farming set pieces and they're waiting for corners to create the magic. I watched that match against Leverkusen where Eze and Rice absolutely demolished them, not from set pieces, but from open play.
For years, the narrative was simple. Mikel Arteta was the apprentice, the loyal student learning the secrets of the game at the foot of the master. But look at the reality today. The shadow of Pep Guardiola no longer looms over North London because Arteta has stepped out of it and into the light. The numbers don't lie.
You could make the argument that this might be the only thing that Pep Guardiola has a chance to win, right? Now that they've gotten knocked out of Champions League. I happen to think that the Premier League race is over.
And for City fans, they're becoming hard to stomach. In their last 6 meetings across all competitions, Manchester City, the team that used to toy with the rest of the league, hasn't managed a single victory against Arsenal. Not one. The gap in the Premier League table is now 9 points, and that pressure is suffocating. For the first time in a decade, City aren't just playing for a trophy. They're playing to prove they aren't obsolete. But here's where it gets scary for Pep. Their last season encounter wasn't a close tactical chess match, it was a 5-1 demolition. A total statement of intent that felt less like a football match and more like a funeral for City's era of dominance. Arteta didn't just beat his mentor that day. He dismantled his philosophy using his own tools. On Sunday at Wembley, the dynamic has officially shifted. Arteta isn't chasing Guardiola anymore. He's challenging him for the throne. And if Arsenal lift that trophy, the student won't just have graduated. He'll have become the new master of English football. This isn't just a clash of styles. It's a clash of souls.
It's a statement. This match on Sunday is almost not about the Carabao Cup. It's not about who wins it. It's laying down a marker for the remainder of the season.
On one side of the Wembley tunnel, you have an Arsenal team that is vibrating with energy. They are the hungriest side in Europe right now, rising, relentless, and playing with a point to prove. For this young squad, every whistle is an opportunity to scream to the world that the banter years are dead and buried. They aren't just playing for a cup. They're playing for the validation that their journey is real. But then, you look at Manchester City. While Arsenal brings the fire, City brings the frost. They are the serial winners, the battle-hardened veterans of 1,000 wars. They don't need to find their motivation, it's built into their DNA. They've walked that Wembley grass so many times it feels like their backyard. Arsenal want to prove they belong. City already know they do. For the Gunners, winning on Sunday is a coronation. It's the moment they officially sit at the big table. But for City, winning is a reminder. It's a message to every young pretender in the league that until you take the crown off their heads, the throne still belongs to the blue side of Manchester. It's the ultimate contrast, the raw, explosive energy of a new era versus the unshakable, clinical dominance of the old guard. So, how do you actually beat a Pep Guardiola side in a final? It's not about luck, it's about math and a massive amount of discipline. Arteta has developed a blueprint that has haunted City for over a year, and on Sunday, he has to execute it to perfection. First, the high press. But here's the catch. It has to be controlled. You can't just run at City blindly. They'll play through you and embarrass you. Arsenal's triggers have to be razor sharp, waiting for that one sideways ball from Ruben Dias or a heavy touch in the pivot to pounce and turn possession into a chance in 3 seconds flat. Next, the midfield battleground. This is where Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi become the most important men at Wembley. They aren't just there to pass. They are there to destroy. Their job is simple but exhausted. But the supply to Haaland. If you starve the big Norwegian, he becomes a passenger. Saliba and Gabriel will handle the physical duels, but the game is won by stopping the ball from ever reaching his feet. When Arsenal win that ball, they have to attack transitions quickly. City are at their most vulnerable the moment they lose possession. Their high line is a gamble, and players like Martinelli and Gyökeres are the house coming to collect. But here is the ultimate truth. Arsenal must maintain this intensity for the full 90. Because if you give City control, if you let them settle into their rhythm and start moving you side to side, it's already over. You don't beat City by reacting. You beat them by suffocating them until they have nowhere left to go. Most people are watching this final thinking about Haaland and Gyökeres, but they're missing the real story. Because this game might not be decided by the forwards, it might be decided by the man in goal. This isn't just a selection decision, this is a gamble. A massive one. At Arsenal, the debate is already heating up. On one side, you have Pierre Arrizabalaga, the cup goalkeeper. the one who's played every single minute in this run, the one who's been trusted all the way to the final, and for many fans, the argument is simple: he earned this. Dropping him now, that feels wrong. That feels like a betrayal. But then there's the other side, the realists, the ones looking at David Raya, his composure, his distribution, his ability to play under pressure, and they're asking one brutal question: can you really risk a final against Manchester City's press with your backup goalkeeper? Because City don't forgive mistakes. They force them, and Arteta knows that. He's shown before that he can be ruthless. That sentiment doesn't win trophies, decisions do. So now, the pressure is on him. Because if he starts KPA, and one mistake happens under that City press, the reaction will be instant. Raya should have started before the ball even hits the net. But on the other side, Pep Guardiola has already made his move. In no doubts. No hesitation, James Trafford starts. A 23-year-old, walking into the biggest game of his career, while a world-class name sits on the bench. That decision says everything. Pep is backing his system, his structure, his belief. He's essentially saying, I trust my team more than I fear yours. And now, both managers are locked in. Two bold decisions, two different approaches, and two goalkeepers, not undisputed number one standing between glory and disaster. Because in finals like this, it's never just about the big moments. It's about the smallest mistakes, and this one decision might just decide everything. This part is where no Arsenal fan wants to talk about. But it's the shadow hanging over every conversation in North London this week. What if they lose? For months, the world has been calling this the Arsenal era. They've been hipped as the most exciting team in Europe, the favourites for a historic quadruple. But here's the brutal truth. If they fall at Wembley, the momentum doesn't just stall, it could evaporate. One loss on Sunday, and the same old Arsenal narrative isn't just back. It's louder than ever. Pundits will stop talking about a dynasty and start talking about a bottled job. The psychological toll would be catastrophic. If you can't beat a struggling Man City in a cup final, how are you going to hold them off in a title race that's coming down to the wire? A defeat here doesn't just cost a trophy. It plants a seed of doubt in the players' minds. It reminds them of the last 3 seasons where they finished as runners-up. It makes the Premier League lead feel fragile. It makes the Champions League quarter-finals feel like a mountain to high to climb. Troy Deeney said it best. A loss here could break their spirit. We've seen it before, one crack in the armour, and the whole season starts to bleed out. This isn't just about the Carabao Cup. It's about the soul of this project. One loss, and everything changes from the Invincibles to 0.0 to the team that almost was in the span of 90 minutes. Sunday is more than a game. It is a crossroads. For Arsenal, it's the moment to prove that the progress is permanent. For Manchester City, it's a chance to prove that they are still the final boss of English football. But I want to know what you think. Is this the day the quadruple dream becomes a reality? Or is it the day the pressure finally breaks the Gunners? If Arsenal lose on Sunday, do you think they still win the Premier League? Or does the season fall apart from here? Drop your comments below. I want to see the debate. Make sure to like the video if you want more deep dives like this, and hit that subscribe button. We'll be live right after the final whistle to break down every single moment. See you at Wembley.